maybe now is the time for you to start your YouTube channel, or at least share photos of what you make online. 10 years and 1 week ago I published the first of my regular YouTube videos. I'm not counting that random one I did 2 years previous to that. And when I started, I had no idea where the channel was going. I had no expectations. I just went for it and waited to see what would happen. Then last week I published my 10-year anniversary video, and oh my gosh, I got really quite emotional reading your comments. They came flooding in, and I started to worry actually that did it come across that I was fishing for compliments, because I didn't mean to. I was just talking about how I was feeling. But maybe afterwards I thought maybe subconsciously that's what I did hope for, and well, you were there for me, weren't you? And honestly, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Just like you were there when I kind of needed you a year and a bit ago as well. So thank you. Connection through this channel is definitely the best thing about it. Hello, welcome to a new video. Today is my birthday. I've got the house to myself. It is freezing cold outside, so I'm probably not going to do my usual trip to the garden centre that I often do on my birthday. I'll wait till later in the week when hopefully it's going to start warming up again. Last week was just lovely, but today's not so good, unfortunately. Came back yesterday from a brief weekend visit to Kent because it was actually our brother-in-law's birthday. He had a big one with a 0 behind it, so he had a big party, so that was really nice. And because that was on my mind, I had sort of not really thought about my own birthday, so it was a nice surprise when it turned out that Mum had made me a cake, and we sang happy birthday, which was lovely.
Happy birthday, dear Helen. Happy birthday to you.
How many claps?
Too many to follow. It was a shame Rain couldn't come. She had to work over the weekend, which was a real pity. But we got back just before 7 and Rain came over, and she had also made me a cake, so that was lovely too.
Happy birthday to you.
And then we did our presents yesterday evening because we were all there. Jude was there too, so that was really lovely, and I thought I would show you my arty presents because I got some nice ones. So my mum has recently been to Austria and she brought me back this lovely Klimt tray, all nice and shiny. She saw that painting for real, and she also brought me these postcards. I did do an inspired by Klimt massive painting for my A-level art, but I didn't actually study his work very much, so yeah, these are all quite new to me. Well, this is very Van Gogh-y, isn't it? The little, I like the metallic touches. They're lovely. So I'm going to put these around the room somewhere for inspiration. I was also given some books. This one was from Rain, and I actually spotted this book when my mum and my sister and I were at Stourhead. The book was for sale there, but I thought, no, that's one I shall save that for my birthday. Yeah, she had some art there too, and it was beautiful. So this one was a book I was particularly attracted to. I want to really improve my watercolour. This looked like a good one because I love her use of colour. I mean, those are just beautiful, aren't they? She is Catherine Beale. And then Chris also bought me a couple of books, both about John Waterhouse. So we've got this one called His Palette by Aaron Adams. So this is all in colour, just a large selection of Waterhouse paintings. I do love this style, I love it a lot. It's a shame that the quality of the printing is pretty rubbish actually. I just couldn't find a better one in colour. All of the reviews I read of other Waterhouse books said shame they were in black and white, and I did want to see the colour. Obviously there's some famous ones and ones we've got in London that I've seen before, but a lot here that I haven't, so I'm looking forward to looking through this properly. And then also one of his drawings. I wanted the inspiration to practice drawing figures mainly, so that I get much more used to the proportions, because the last painting I did of the ladies dancing around the maypole, Oh my gosh, it took me a long time to get all the proportions correct, and I just want to get quicker at that. So I thought a book of his drawings might inspire me to maybe practice. Hello again. So it's actually been a few days since I last showed you this picture, and yes, where I thought it was finished, well, I kept thinking it was finished, and then I thought, oh no, I added a poem, and then I did some more splats down here, and I was lucky enough to get a critique from Dimitri Milan and a couple of others in the membership I'm in, and my concerns were agreed with, that there wasn't enough going on this side. So I'm adding a standing stone. That was actually Chris's idea. So Dimitri said try and add something that goes with the maypole dancing. I just couldn't think of anything. I could go a bit more fantastical. Her idea was that these my paint scribbles like turn into birds. I really liked that idea, but not in this painting. I didn't think there was space. I didn't think there was sort of room for that. Well, that was a little bit like my painting, I don't know if you remember it, called, oh, what's it called? The one with the seagulls and she's on the cliff and the birds come out of her dress in that one. So that's actually an idea I've done before, weirdly. But anyway, decided to put in a standing stone here. And also I thought there was too much green, and yes, Dimitri said the same. So originally I was going to do poppies. I can't remember if I've said this already in the foreground here. And then I found out that poppies aren't likely to be in bloom on the 1st of May when this traditionally takes place. So I abandoned the poppies and just kept some faint red splatters that hint at maybe red campion. Red campion is in bloom, but it's not enough. They're not vibrant enough. So I am going to go in and add poppies anyway. We do sometimes get poppies in May, so I'm going to go with it. So Chris also spoiled me with Sennelier iridescent oil pastels. Get a little Sennelier booklet. These are the colours we've got. I won't read them all out now because I'll probably swatch them a bit later, but these are all metallics. And whilst we're on the subject of oil pastels, Chris also bought me these from Winsor and Newton, which actually I asked for these. Some really pretty colours. I love these light blues. So the reason why I wanted these from Winsor & Newton and these from Sennelier was partly I don't have any oil pastels apart from some that were actually given to the kids years ago. They were Pentel, and I wanted some obviously that are Lightfast and not too expensive because I don't actually know how much I'm going to use them. Sennelier are expensive, but these were metallic colours, and you know me, I do love to add a little bit of shine and metallics to my work, so perfect to go on top. And these are mainly for mark making and yeah, just adding some scribbles and things. But yeah, now that I've started using oil again in my work and finishing the paintings with oil, I do like to have an option to layer on top. And of course you can only layer oil over oil, so that's why I asked for these. I'm looking forward to giving these a go. I can't wait actually. And then also for the same reason that I've looked at these before, they've had wonderful reviews I've seen on YouTube, and I thought, oh, but I don't really do pencil drawings. I don't use pencil very much. If I do, it's just for a little bit of a scribble in the background. And I thought these were too pricey just to buy for the odd little scribble. Again, my maypole dancing painting, I was really struggling to get some of the faces. I just thought if only I had an oil pastel pencil. And then I discovered that the Lightfast pencils are oil based. I can use these over the top of oil painting, and I can't wait to see what effects I can get, as well as using them if I want to add detail or just adding some texture. So I'm really excited to get these. It's that time of year again where I've got the curtains closed so that I can actually see what I'm doing, and then I pull that back and it looks completely different. So this is how it's looking now, and I'm loving it. I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. So we'll just have to assume it was a warm spring and the poppies have burst forth early. I'm going to actually bring some more red dots up here and maybe even do some red splatters right into the green. Yes, I think I will, why not? And add some grasses. And then I think I'm going to wait for this to dry, this rock, a little more. which hopefully won't take long in this light, and then I'll add some more highlights onto the rock. Anyway, I've got a few last details to do, but I'm so much happier with this. Okay, well, I've swatched them all out, and this is where I'm hoping that Chris doesn't watch this particular video, because I mean they are just awful. Winsor and Newton oil pastels are awful. I've just checked, the smaller set was available on Amazon and it's got good reviews. Look at this, look at Emerald. Maybe I've got a defective set. This side was all fine, and then it started on the other side. This deep blue was all like scratchy. Then look at this one, Emerald, and then the deep green wasn't much better. They only stopped being scratchy when I started layering them on top of the other colour. All of these, the pigment isn't coming off. Now I know this is smooth paper, this is not designed for oil pastels, so I'm going to hold out my judgment a little bit. And also I was thinking, are they all like this? Maybe they're all like this. So then I swatched out my new Sennelier iridescents. Completely different. They're in a different league altogether. I can see why Sennelier have it much more expensive. So luckily, Chris got these, I know, so I sent him the link, at a pretty good price on art discount. You definitely do not pay full price for these, in my opinion. I suppose if you're wanting a budget Lightfast range, then you're going to sort of have to go for these probably. I didn't see a lot of choices, I'll be honest, and not a lot of information about what was Lightfast and what wasn't. I was resorting to YouTube Lightfast tests, and yeah, I spent quite a lot of time trying to find the best oil pastels to get, and in the end I wasn't going to get any because I couldn't find any good ones. And then I spotted that the Winsor and Newton ones are Lightfast. The Sennelier ones are Lightfast too. I've just realised I haven't written that these Sennelier do ordinary colours, not just the iridescent ones, but they were quite expensive and I didn't want to spend that much and I wasn't sure. So these are Montmartre. I gave these a quick go over here to compare, and also you can see the difference in the black. That was the Sennelier black. It just goes on like paint. It's beautiful, it's creamy, it's soft. This black was hard, horrible to use, so I thought, well, I'll compare it to the Montmartre, which is a decent student grade. Again, creamy, soft, nothing like the Winsor and Newton. So it isn't just the paper. I'm really disappointed. This painting is called Weaving Magic, and these are the words that I wrote in the painting, but you can't really see anymore. It got mostly covered up by paint. It might only look like dancing to you or me, but caught in a web of time, on that magical day, the ribbons weave spells of summer wishes. So here we are, here's my quick review of the Derwent Lightfast pencils. They feel really nice to use, really nice and soft and sort of almost creamy. Definitely not like an oil pastel. It is definitely much more like a pencil. You wouldn't necessarily even know that they're oil based, but they are very blendy with each other and they feel different. Oh, sorry about the dog making odd noises in the background. My only gripe with these is the colour selection of the pack of 24, because, oh, the sun's coming out again. Let me close the curtain. Where's the green? We've got mallard green and racing green. So we've got that very, very dark green, which I can see being useful. And I love the mallard green. That's potentially my favourite colour in the whole lot. But where is the grass and the leaves, you know? And I've just been on the Derwent website, and you have to get a tin of 72. Even the 36 doesn't have a decent selection of greens. So you're missing a sort of sky blue, and you definitely don't need the ruby earth and the Venetian red in the same small set. They're almost the same colour. So that's my only little gripe, but I am really excited to have a go with these over the top of oils. I think they'll make some very interesting marks. I'm indulging in a proper day off today, so I might sit on the settee and have a read maybe of my new books. Okay, well it's quite a bit later. In fact, I've got about 10 minutes before bed. Found this old rose, which is not very good. I like the background. I'm going to have a go at adding some marks over the top with the oil pastels and these, and see what happens. Well, even if I do say so myself, that's a vast improvement. Difficult to do without I couldn't find the original picture of a rose. I'm wondering if I got it out of a book, actually, an old book. Added some scribbles, some highlights and some darks. Well, I shall say goodnight. It's now the end of my birthday. I will see you again very soon. Do take care. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already. That would be a really nice birthday present. Yes, it would. And thank you if you are sharing the link with your friends if you think they'd enjoy watching too. That would be very much appreciated as well. And I will see you again next time. Bye.